If you can't be corrected without being offended, you will never grow in life. Shalom, Yasha peace, Israel, Kohalo, Yahweh, Bashmi, Washab, Bashim, Kodash. It's the brother of Balkabar from the Camp Prophets in Babylon, Tampa, Florida. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who do indeed teach you well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity. All right? Don't let your emotions get in the way of being corrected, you know? If you can't be corrected without being offended, you will never grow in life, all right? And we're in this truth. The scriptures say, grow in the grace thereof. And a part of the growing process in this truth is being corrected, you know, being chastised, and being able to take it. You know, even sometimes if you got to suffer wrongfully, you can't let offended get in the way of you earning your crown, man. You know, you got guys that get corrected, you know, the Spirit of the Lord gets on them, however it may be, and they get offended, you know, and then now their whole doctrine and teachings turns into strife and bitter envy, which we can't have, you know. So a big part of this truth is being corrected. You know, there's nothing wrong with being corrected. Actually, that's love, you know. But real quick, let's go ahead and open up with a scripture. You know, correction is an act of love, man. But this is Proverbs 15:10. It says, correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. So if you hate correction and reproof, ultimately that leads to death. All right, because, you know, when brothers correct brothers, you know, real brothers correct real brothers, you know, it's to, you know, help a brother, save a brother, you know. So sometimes, you know, Jake might get offended when you get on him. You know, you go up there, you correct him, say, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that, man. You know, you can't be doing that. Bring out the scriptures. You might show him a scripture, and Jake will get offended, man. You know, and that right there can cause you to fumble the crown, man. You know, now you turn to a slanderer. You know, you forsake the truth. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way. All right, so correction is grievous unto the ones that are forsaking the way, man. You hating correction, you're really forsaking the ways of Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai. All right, because we know that the Lord speaks through his prophets, Luke 1:70. You know, so the Lord can also, you know, get on your ass with his prophets, man. You know, no matter the rank you are, you know, no matter where your position is in a camp, you know, the Lord speaks through his men, you know, and correction goes out. And there's nothing wrong with being corrected, you know. That's why we need the spirit of humility, man. Especially if a brother sincere comes to you with a sincere correction, you know. You should always take it in, you know, because at the end of the day, we all trying to make it enduring to the end, man. We all trying to get that crown. So that's another thing. You see a brother going off, hey, you got to correct a brother. You can't just sit there with your mouth closed, you know, trying to be a respected person. No, if a brother's going off, you got to correct the brother, man. Or else, hey, that's blood on your hands, you know. And also, if you know, if you love the body, you love the brotherhood, you see a brother going off, you should, hey, correct the brother out of love. Because, hey, we had to be corrected to get this truth, you know, to even come into the fold of Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai through the Rakat Kodash. You know, we had to be corrected, you know, down to the little things like our dietary laws. Hey, you know, you can't eat this, you can't eat that no more. Hey, you can't eat pork no more, man. That's bad, man. That's, yeah, you're going off, man. You know, the Lord's not with that. You know, but a guy that's, you know, not one of the Lords is going to buck up against correction, man. You know, and the Lord might put the spirit on a brother, you know, to correct you and just to see how you're going to take it. All right, this is Proverbs 3:11. My son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. See, Jake, you know, Jake sometimes you know, they don't want to hear it, you know. But in reality, the correction is what saves your life. You know, brothers don't just get on brothers just to be an asshole, just to be a, you know, a fucking, you know, Jake getting on, we get on brothers, you know, you correct brothers. I know brothers have corrected me, and it's out of love, you know. You get on brothers, it's out of love. Set the brother back on the right path. You know, if brother's going off here or there, get the brother on the right path, pull him to the side one-on-one, as the scriptures say. You know, and, you know, talk to the brother, man. But then when you are on the other end of that, you being corrected, you can't be, you get weary. You know, certain Jake will get tired of being corrected. You know, oh, why I always got to be corrected every day? Well, really, the Lord's trying to show you something. That's why it says, my son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. All right. This is 2 Timothy 3:16. You know, obviously, you know, you correct the brother, you bring out the scriptures, man. You don't go up to a brother because he don't have the same he don't like the same football team, and you trying to correct him on it or something like that. You know, you correct them concerning the scriptures, man. 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. So the scriptures are also here for correction, you know. So a brother might be going off, you know, brother might be whatever it may be, you know. You pull the brother to the side and understand you got to bring out, go to the scriptures, man. You know, because all the scriptures are for correction, for reproof. And hey, that we're commanded to do that too, man. You know, reproof. Let me grab that. This is 2 Timothy 4:2. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. All right. So there's no time off for the work of the Lord. All right. Just because it gets cold out, you still got to go out there and do the work. You know. Be instant in season, out of season. It says reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. And doctrine, all right? So that's another reason Jake might need to be corrected. You know, Jake might be going off on doctrine, might have slipped with the tongue, whatever it may be, but especially concerning the doctrine, it must be corrected. You know, a guy coming to the camp and start teaching about the MOTB being sleeping with white women, or, you know, an embargo, hey, that needs to be corrected. You can't just sit there and, you know, shalom, you know, bring it out. You can't just, you know, be a respect of persons, man. You got to correct them. Scriptures talk about all speaking the same thing. Be of one mind, of one accord. Okay, especially in the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. But we're commanded to do what? Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. And you know, you see the quote in the back: if you can't be corrected without being offended, you will never grow in life. All right, you don't let offended, you know, being offended make you lose your crown. And that's the truth, though, too. You know, growth with correction comes growth. You know, when you be corrected on something, hey, I've seen it myself. You know, I might have been, you know, slipping up. Hey, sometimes you don't even see it. That's why you have a body. You don't even realize what you're doing. You know. You know, a brother might pull you to the side and say, hey, look, man, you're going off here, bring out the scriptures. Hey, and through experience, hey, you feel so much better after you realize, you know, hey, I need to work on that, you know? You start working on it. But that's how you grow, okay? That's how you grow. So correction is part of growth, you know? Or part of growth is correction, I should say. But this is, see. The book of Sirach 16:12, as his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judgeth a man according to his works. All right, so at the end of the day, You know, you're going to be judged according to the works that you put out. All right? And the Lord's mercy is great, but guess what? So are his corrections. All right? The Lord will correct you, man. And none of us are above correction. You know, that's why we all need to be of a humble mind, spiritual, you know, especially concerning the scriptures, man. All right, brother, come to you with the scriptures sincerely, humble. Hey, you should be all ears, man. You know, especially concerning the scriptures and the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, now, as soon as someone comes up and tries to correct you, you know they're going off. That's a different story. You know, they come up with some BS. You know, but at the same time, you know, learn how to be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. You know, sometimes no answer is an answer in itself, man. Hey, sometimes you might be corrected. You might be suffering wrongfully. But hey, and those situations, you got to give it to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I think the scriptures talk about that. Suffer wrongfully. Let's go there real quick. This is 1 Peter 2 and 18. It says, servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the forward. Okay, understand and order. You know, leadership. You know, you have a chain of command, right? And you should always, you know, be subject to the power that the Lord set up. It says, for this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward the Most High endure grief, suffering wrongfully. Okay? Hey, and there's been times, you know, I was a part of an old camp. I had to suffer wrongfully, man. You sit there, you just got to deal with it. You know, but the Lord ultimately is increasing you in the spirit. You know, increasing your patience. You know. But it says, for this is thankworthy. So it's thankworthy if a man for conscience towards the Most High endure grief. So you know, if you have a good mind towards Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you're always going to rejoice no matter what you go through, the good and the evil. Okay, a man that has a pure mind toward Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, hey, can endure grief. You know, certain Jake, like I said, get offended. They can't endure that. It says, if a man for conscience toward the Most High endure grief, suffering wrongfully. Sometimes you're going to have to suffer wrongfully. It says, for what glory is it if when you be buffeted for your faults, you're like corrected, you shall take it patiently. Okay, so that's another thing about correction is it's a test of patience too. Test of your patience, especially if you might be suffering wrongfully. All right, but most of the time, you know, if brother's getting on you, it's not, you're not suffering wrongfully, you know. But there are occasions. But if most of the time, if a brother's getting on you, hey, there's most likely something there. The Lord's trying to tell you something, you know, especially concerning the scriptures. It says, but if when you do well and suffer for it, you take it patiently, this is acceptable with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. For even hereunto were you called. All right, so hey, think about Yahweh Shai. He suffered wrongfully. Hey, and occasions we're gonna have to suffer wrongfully, man. That's just part of the walk. But you can't let being corrected on any circumstance allow you to fumble your bag, you know, fumble the crown, allow you to stop growing in this thing. The scriptures say, grow in the grace thereof. You know, Jake will get corrected so many times and say, you know, I'm not even gonna listen to that guy no more. He correct me so much, he tried to get on, I'm not even gonna listen to him no more. And now you just stunting your own growth. But it says, for here, even hereunto were you called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. All right, the perfect sacrifice, Yahweh Shai, who when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judges righteously. Okay, so we have to be fully committed unto the judgment of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and no matter what we go through, if you have a good conscience towards the Lord, you're being corrected, you know, you're catching hell, you're always gonna rejoice with that cheerful countenance. All right, and that's a scripture actually. Let me grab it. I think it's in Sirach. Yeah, this is it. Sirach 26:4. It says, whether a man be rich or poor, if he has a good heart towards the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. All right, whether you be rich or poor, whether you got abundance, whether you got nothing, if you got a good mind toward Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you should always be rejoicing with a cheerful countenance, understanding that the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is righteous. All right. So when correction comes, hey, take it on. At the end of the day, that's how you grow. Correction is part of this thing. Being corrected is part of this thing. And it's a humbling process. All right. Let me grab this. Luke 14:11. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So that's another thing, in this truth, we're trying to become more and more humble, allow the Lord to increase and us to decrease every single day. All right, so we got to humble ourselves greatly before the throne, before Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, before the brotherhood. When correction comes, hey, give praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and don't let that sway you. All right. So yeah, just a quick lesson, man. Call out Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Correction is part of this thing. I'll close it out with this. This is James 4:10. Humble yourselves in the sight of Yahweh Shai, and he shall lift you up. All right. So if you can't be corrected without being offended, you will never grow in life. And we got to continue to grow in the grace thereof. All right. So with that, call out Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.